But I'm a little bit concerned just because Cure was also missing over the weekend. He didn't play in World Team League, he didn't play in ESL Cup Asia, and now he hasn't played in KungFu Cup. So I wonder if maybe he's taking a break, maybe he's on vacation for like a week or something. But Cure has been missing from weekly tournaments this week. This week has been very Cure light. So we'll see when he comes back, and when he does, I'm sure he'll be very refreshed and ready to jump back into it as we are getting into our second series of the night. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have the Danish Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player representing the Starving Camels, SSLT. It is Cyan. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. We move from a PvT into a PvP. This is, of course, arguably MaxPax's speciality. He is well versed in the PvPs, and I'm very curious to see how he faces off against Cyan, a player from a different region, a player with his own meta as well. I'm sure Cyan is aware that he's up against one of the favorites of the entire tournament, so I look forward to see what Cyan has in store for the packs that is Max. See? But again, despite us missing those three key players, I'm sure there are maybe others that I'm forgetting to mention, but you know, again, without Raynor, Maru, and Cure, we still have a very stacked tournament, very stacked bracket, as we always do for the KungFu Cup, to be fair. Like, if you're maybe unfamiliar with this tournament and you're like, oh my damn, everyone's here, it's like, yeah, you should be here more often. that's how it is in every KungFu Cup. So a lot of high quality players, a lot of high quality matches are had here, and the best way to experience your KungFu Cup is clearly with some KFC. Hashtag not sponsored. I don't think anyone has mentioned it, but I usually cast the KungFu Cup with Yaku. Yaku, alas, he's not with me today just because he's, again, focusing on his... This month is a very heavy month for him. He's got a lot of assignments and a lot of exams. So Yaku is focusing on his studies. Next month, I'll drill him hard for missing out on a month worth of StarCraft. It's like, don't worry. But Yaku will be back next month, so don't worry. He'll be back with us. Just has to focus on his studies here for the month of June. But it's all good. We'll get him back at some point. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but Yaku actually has custom backgrounds for his webcam, for his green screen, every single tournament. Well, most tournaments. Maybe even every single one. He has custom backgrounds. And for the KungFu Cup, it is a KFC bucket. It's a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket. It's beautiful. Shaking my head, yeah. Shaking my head. As we are racing across the map, we did have some gate expand openers from both of our players. We have, of course, MaxPax opening up with an Oracle first, zooming across the map with what he has. Before that happens, though, Cyan is looking to flex his gateway production here, taking down that shield battery, taking down that stalker as well. Cyan getting a little bit out of hand. Can he overwhelm and overpower this army before that Void Ray comes out? The answer is going to be no. As the Oracle across the map gets 3 probe kills, not too bad. As we now have 2 stalkers, but with the arrival of this Void Ray, Cyan is being forced back. So we had a little bit of a trade here and there. Looking at the units lost tab, we saw that Cyan did lose a couple more workers. We saw that MaxPax lost that shield battery, but shield batteries are made to be lost, and he is replacing it. So things will settle down from here. MaxPax, of course, did open up with a Stargate, and his first Oracle did some damage, but it also stayed alive. And because it's alive, that means it's going to be joined by a second Oracle, and that means we're going to have one-shot potential as well, which means that a shield battery is not enough to protect a mineral line. Against one Oracle it is, because an Oracle can't out-DPS the healing of a shield battery, but 2 Oracles can. So suddenly Cyan is in a little bit more trouble. He has to make sure he has Stalkers in position. We have 4 Stalkers at the natural. We have 2 Stalkers in the main. Now MaxPax is diving in. Up. And he does go for a bit of a drive-by. 2 probes go down, but we do have the target firing coming out from Cyan. 2 probes for an Oracle. Not the best trade for MaxPax. And a solid defense here from Cyan. He does minimize his losses and also punishes MaxPax a little bit as he also catches out that Oracle, and he's going to do a little bit of hull damage as well. Not too bad. Back at home, we're still on 2 bases and we're getting into a gateway explosion. MaxPax getting into a later blink, and the blink is later because Cyan prioritized his blink instead of the Stargate. Of course, MaxPax invested his initial gas into said Stargate and put him behind in a sense. Himself behind. Could have been ahead if just these Oracles did a little bit more damage. We do see the 3rd base is on the way though, and Cyan does have a faster timing with said 3rd. We also see that because of that probe damage, he does have a slight worker lead as well, but Cyan is looking to apply some pressure. Blink is already done, and Cyan is looking to flex that. Oh, he can out-control and out-micro this, and here we go. The first Void Ray is going to be going down. The Blink so far have been good. Not a single Stalker has fallen for Cyan. He does blink on forward as well. He does go for the aggressive play, and he's able to pick up a couple more of these Stalkers. Can he force the cancel on this Nexus though? Does he have enough? That's the question. At the same time, Oracle tries to harass, but no, Cyan is focusing back at home as well. He does deflect it. Oh, this is a bold move from Cyan. I'm not too sure if I like this. He still has a Stalker lead, but he does trade a couple of Stalkers for the Stalkers of MaxPax. He wants to try and force the cancel here, but the Nexus will finish, and MaxPax does have the defender's advantage. So MaxPax loses a couple of those Stalkers, the Void Ray as well, but he will be able to keep his base alive. We see Cyan, oh my god, just playing with fire right now. He is going to be dealing some hull damage here to the Nexus, and he wants to keep going. Oh my god. Oh! Ugh. Again, MaxPax has the Stalker advantage though, and he's going to be able to force Cyan all the way back. Back at home, Cyan getting his own 3rd base much later than MaxPax's, and that's why he was applying as much pressure as possible. He wanted to force an overreaction and overcommitment from MaxPax, but wasn't quite able to pull it off, and as a result, MaxPax is going to be able to saturate his 3rd, get a bit of a higher worker count, have a better economy. Meanwhile, Cyan is going to have a better army. The Blink Stalkers are pretty even, but Cyan has +1, he's got +2 on the way, and he also has Immortal production already commencing as well. So Cyan does just straight up have a stronger force overall. MaxPax still working on his first Forge, still working on his first Robo as well. So again, tech-wise, MaxPax has been behind this game. It's just been his economy that has been overwhelming and been, giving him that edge. Speaking of that edge, we do have a bit of a depth harass slipping in towards the 3rd base. A couple more Stalkers, a couple more probes are going to be going down. Oh, Cyan, his economy is just getting worse and worse here, and it looks like he's going to be hitting a timing. There is going to be a window where he has a pretty massive Immortal lead. He's going to have +2 against the +1 or even +0 of MaxPax. So Cyan has a window where he can potentially end the game, or at least do enough damage to even up the economy. Here we go, Cyan moves out across the map. He looks to threaten the 4th base, but no, he wants to fight with the army instead. Well, does catch a couple of these transferring workers. That 4th base is so isolated. We do force a cancel. Already a good couple of moments here from Cyan. Can he snowball this? As he still has those Immortals, and you know what? This Nexus is still low from earlier. Overcharge is going to be popped, so again, MaxPax does have that defender's advantage. Does force Cyan back. At the same time, MaxPax quickly expands towards the south. Doesn't want his 4th base to be too delayed. God, but this base is getting so low, and he's gonna get it! Wow, the Immortals, they chunk away at that Nexus. It will go down. It looks like with the help of these Zealots, MaxPax is just doing such a great job at tanking for his army, and he does get both the Immortals, but Cyan still has an overwhelming force. Looking at the units tab here, Cyan has 24 Stalkers to the 18 of MaxPax. Zealots will help make up for that, but MaxPax is knocked down to only a 2-base economy. Across the map, we do see Cyan trying to get his own 4th up and running, but MaxPax is here to delay him. Does force the army to turn back around, and this does give MaxPax breathing room to eventually get his own backup 3rd up and running. But MaxPax, he knows he's behind. When behind, Dark Shrine. The Dark Shrine is on the way. can do a lot of damage. Do we have any observers out for Cyan? The answer is yes. We have 2 observers, one with the main army, 1 at the natural. Cannons as well. Oh my god, Cyan is so prepared for this. Oh, a very quick warping as well. He does deny that zealot run by. Cyan is pushing through the left-hand side of the map as well. We now have Immortals in play from MaxPax. So again, he is able to help it boost his army, but Cyan still has that upgrade advantage, still has +2 over his opponent. Now has another reinforcing Immortal as well. MaxPax trying to do what he can. He does have a shield battery on the way. He will have an overcharge. Oh, we do see Cyan. He wants to bait out the shield. Ooh, and he will get it. Very cheeky move there out of Cyan. Is going to make that Immortal that much more vulnerable. We do see Cyan rotating on over, and he actually does come across a zealot run by. Oh, did he see it? Oh, it looks like he didn't. Cyan going to be rotating over towards the new 4th base, but there is a shield battery here, and MaxPax, I believe he should have seen that as his zealot run by is running past the natural into the main. But the run-bys are not stopping here, as we do see Cyan once again getting a head start on that Nexus. The zealot run-by not really doing too much damage, is being cleaned up. Only a couple of workers are going to be going down here as the cannons do finish up defensively for Cyan. Maybe I spoke too soon because 5 probes go down. At the same time, Cyan has an overwhelming army. He wants to force the issue here, but at the same time, we have a surround. MaxPax, he comes in from behind. He gets a better position overall. He blinks on forward. He dives into the Immortal. The Immortal barely gets saved. Oh my god. The Prism juggling is pretty good, but the army is just not large enough. Cyan, he loses a massive fight. Oh, despite all the momentum that was going his way, he was forced to warp in back at home, and he couldn't really make use of his army. Charge, very delayed. +3 delayed as well. Cyan, it looked like he thought he could end the game. It looked like after he killed the 3rd and the 4th base, he felt that he could overwhelm MaxPax, and I thought so as well. And Cyan is getting punished for not thinking further ahead, for delaying these upgrades and not being ready for the game to go on longer. Meanwhile, the DT has been scouted. The main army of MaxPax trying to hit that 4th base. Charge finishes up just in time for Cyan. And he does clean up those DTs, so we can focus on the defense. But MaxPax has crawled his way back into this. He was up against the wall, let's be real. Like, Cyan was winning this game, but MaxPax was able to claw his way back in, expanding, focusing on pro production. He's still vulnerable at times, and Cyan still has certain advantages, specifically +3, as +3 just finished up for Cyan. He does have a better army overall. Does have a higher army supply. He's going to be committing to the fight at the same time. The Prism harass has not quite started for MaxPax. As he's looking to harass with those DTs, the overcharge putting in a lot of work once again. As MaxPax forces his opponent back. Speaking of that Prism, looks like it has been spotted by Cyan. Oof. It's going to be forced back. Cyan recognizes that he can't quite break that 3rd base. He has to rotate on over. He's going to beat MaxPax to his own 5th. So the 5th base may be killed, but that's the 5th. Like, MaxPax, he can afford to lose the space. Doesn't really matter. So the army is coming on in at the same time. That Prism, oh, the harass, not quite finding too much damage. Prism almost goes down. The window is closing. MaxPax is catching up with that +3. We see Cyan trying to get his own 5th base, but alas, it's being harassed. Cyan was doing so well, Pop. He was doing so well. And now it feels like he's falling a little bit behind. We'll see if he can make something happen with that upgrade advantage. Doesn't have those Immortals like he once did before. Setting up his own counterattack, but alas, he is being found out by MaxPax. Has been spotted. MaxPax only has one observer, but it is with the harassing force. It is here defensively to defend against the DTs. Oh, the prism will go down, the DTs as well, and that window that we were talking about is about to close. +3 is finishing off for MaxPax. We are now even in upgrades. Just before that happens, we do see that Immortal being sniped just barely. But MaxPax has been mining for longer on 5 bases. Now he's working on a 6th base. He's ahead economically. He's been able to max out faster as a result. Cyan is still struggling. As Cyan takes a decent trade, we have a massive counterattack here at the 3rd base. Shield Battery doing what it can. Overcharge as well, but the cannon goes down. Oh, and this is getting out of hand. I love it. MaxPax, he has an observer with this hit squad, so he was able to snipe the observer, the defensive observer of Cyan as well. As we see Cyan being forced to commit, but he can't quite break this. The concave was too good. MaxPax here in the main is being cleaned up. Cyan has been able to keep up for the most part. God, and MaxPax is even taking one of Cyan's bases. Like MaxPax, his ability to expand and take bases and probe as well is unparalleled. And now the concave is in favor of MaxPax. The blinks are a little bit better for him as well. We do have a shield battery. We do have an overcharge, so Cyan will eventually force this back, but... So much is riding on this harassment. As MaxPax blinks aggressively forward and jumps on top of the 4th base. Takes down a shield battery. It's going to be able to go for a run by here at the 3rd. Take down even more of those shield batteries and pylons. He's going to be losing a lot though, when we do have a surround being set up, but no, MaxPax is aware. He's able to divert his attention in time. And even though MaxPax lost 11 workers, he can afford to. Like, he has the spare workers. He has the spare bases. He didn't need that 6th base. As he expands towards the bottom left instead. All these bases belong to MaxPax, apparently. And Cyan, he's broke. He doesn't have the economy to sustain these losses. He can't remax, he can't rebuild. Meanwhile, MaxPax can. Yeah, and a rough trade going on here. It looks like MaxPax is just overwhelming Cyan. An overcharge, or the defensive structures are going to help him out here at that 5th base. Cyan trying to take that 6th as his own. No shot. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised no one has gone into Archon production. Which can definitely help against all these Zealots. We're just sticking on pure gateway armies, Zealots and Stalkers for both players. 2 major battles going on here on the right-hand side. It looks like who's going to snipe the Observer? Up! Cyan will get it just in time. DTs will be able to clean everything else up. They should, as Cyan is forced back. Meanwhile, MaxPax is still just out-trading his opponents. Oh. Still just taking better fights overall. Cyan has been doing a good job at denying the 6th time and time again. Sorry, 7th base even. I kept calling it a 6th base. It's a 7th base. 7th base. But MaxPax is just going to be able to break on through here as well. We still need a little bit more time for that overcharge. Cyan's supply just being kept low, kept in the dumps. At a certain point, because MaxPax has been losing a lot of Nexuses, will that ever like really hurt him? It's minerals. He has a massive mineral bank. Not really. I think any minerals he takes from these fringe bases is just a win for MaxPax. It's minerals that he's just depriving from his opponents. As we have another massive DTs that'll run by. Oh, the sick base of Cyan is going to go down. Jesus, that's a lot of DTs. And it's kind of a slow death here for Cyan as well. He lost his mineral line, he lost his base as well. GG gets called, and MaxPax fights back, taking game number 1. But he fought back hard. Again, let's be real here. MaxPax, there was a moment where he was on 2 bases against the 4 bases of Cyan. Like, it was crazy. Like, MaxPax was up against the wall. He was at death's door. But Cyan was trying to force the issue, and he couldn't. He couldn't break the defensive position of MaxPax, even though Cyan had the upgrades, even though he had the higher army supply. Specifically because of shield batteries and overcharge and defensive warp-ins, MaxPax was barely holding on, and he got away with double expanding and catching back up. And I mentioned it earlier, but I feel like a lot of this win as well was also Cyan being a little bit short-sighted. After he got his lead, he was very focused on warping in and being aggressive and trying to end the game instead of getting further ahead. We pointed out that charge was delayed, +2 was delayed, or sorry, +3 was heavily delayed for Cyan as well. He had the opportunities to tech up even further and refine his army, and he didn't end up doing that until much later in the game. And by that point, you know, MaxPax was closing the distance and eventually was able to overcome Cyan. GG. Well played. Well played by our Danish Protoss. As we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Danish Protoss player, the player that just refuses to die, representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the best Protoss player in all of China. Arguably, I know Firefly and Jeshi have something to say about that, but results wise, the best Protoss in China, representing the Starving Camels, it is Cyan. Looking very solid at the start, or for the first half of game number 1. Just wasn't able to close it out in the end, and yeah, made a really solid game out of it against MaxPax. We'll see if he can do that again. We'll see if he can force the ace match, which would be really impressive, to be honest. I think everyone coming into this, myself included, I mean, MaxPax is the favorite. We all expect him to do well, and we expect him to go far in this tournament. And we expect him not to stumble this early on. But again, Cyan showing his prowess in the matchup, showing that he's a force to be reckoned with, showing that, hey, you know, he may not be as well recognized in the international scene, he's still a strong player in his own right, and it's great to see him doing well here. See if he can do it again. He took a cyanide pill. Clearly. The Starving Camels, yeah, that's the other thing, right? Cyan, he's one of the Starving Camels, and God, they've been doing so well in World Team League. Like, oh my God, they have been such good snipers in World Team League, just taking maps and taking series off of the best players in the world and the best teams in the world. So yeah, you know, Cyan showing off those skills a little bit more here in a more 1v1 centered format, in a more 1v1 tournament, in a more individual tournament. That's the word I was looking for, instead of a team league tournament. But yeah, really happy to see him doing well, and we'll see if he can do even better, as MaxPax is going to be delaying his base. Well, to be fair, he's forced to. Cyan does go for the pylon block here. The additional gas is taken. MaxPax is going to be going for a Stargate first, while Cyan goes for a gate expand and gets his Nexus down on time. Ooh, and this can get weird. Okay, so Cyan is going... Oh, never mind. Wait, am I crazy? Did he cancel? No, okay, he didn't cancel. Never mind. All right. So MaxPax is going to be the aggressor. His Nexus is delayed. He's going to be relying a lot on his first and second Oracle to deal economic damage. Meanwhile, Cyan knows. Cyan, He scouted, he saw, he forced the Stargate, he saw it as well, he got confirmation, and he's going to be getting ready back at home. He initially goes for the full wall off here at the natural. This is so that he doesn't have to worry about any of these glaive adepts, or any adepts, regular adepts, shading and being annoying and slipping into a mineral line. So a solid start here from Cyan. Likewise, he's getting his stalkers in position, but the Oracle goes straight for the stalker, actually. Oh my god. A very interesting choice. Okay. So MaxPax, he gets one probe. He killed the probe across the map. One probe and a stalker for his troubles. Not bad here, not bad. As we do have the second Oracle already out here from MaxPax as well. He's looking to split the attention of Cyan and try to get some damage done. One Oracle for the main, the other Oracle for the natural. Well, main base is defended, is deflected. Meanwhile, the natural, a little bit more exposed as there is no shield battery. Gets one probe, but only a single probe. So far, Cyan has done a great job defending, but the Oracles are still alive, and it looks like MaxPax wants to join his forces. He's looking to try and go in with maybe both Oracles in towards the same mineral line. We do see one Oracle actually slipping behind the Stalkers, gets another probe kill. We're getting out of there. Back at home, we're transitioning into Blink. Again, MaxPax, his Blink timing is going to be a little bit later compared to Cyan, so he did have to spend his gas on that Stargate. Likewise, Cyan is going to have a window where he will have Blink and his opponent won't. Likewise, we are also getting into a Robo, getting into 4 gate, 2 base Blink Stalkers. And then we're going for an Observer first, not a Prism. Interesting. I'm very curious to see if Cyan is looking to expand or if he goes for a 2 base all-in as, oh, it's a 2 base all-in. 2 additional gateways are thrown down at the natural, so we have 2 gates in the main, as a couple of probes go down. 2 gates in the main, 2 in the wall, and 2 behind the natural base, so 6 gates in total. This is an all-in from Cyan, and MaxPax hasn't seen this yet. He's going for a 3rd base as we speak. He is working off of 4 gates of his own, so a pretty solid production capability here for MaxPax. Not as large as Cyan, obviously, but solid nonetheless. So thankfully he wasn't being too greedy. But again, Cyan is still going to have an overwhelming force of Stalkers, and MaxPax is going to have to fight with his shield batteries, with his overcharge. We'll see if he can hold on. Adept is going to be going down. We do see the Prism going for another massive warp in. 5 Stalkers at a time. We're rushing across the map. The Oracles were recalled back home, as they are being sent out to do some more harassing damage. But does MaxPax know what is going on? We do see Cyan has a slight Stalker advantage, but pushing up the ramp. Ooh, it's not the best start. Pushing up against a better concave as well. Cyan, a lot of his Stalkers are already battered and bruised. Meanwhile, MaxPax is looking to cripple the economy. His 2 Oracles dive into the natural, and there's nothing here. Oh, and this is dangerous. Probes are falling, and sure, you may be wondering, hey, Cyan is all in anyway, right? True, but you need an economy to sustain this. You need to be able to sustain the amount of production that we have available here, as Cyan is going to try and break through the front door. And it looks like he barely is. He does have the much higher Stalker count. Trying to squeeze in as many warp-ins as he can. Oh, has to be careful though. MaxPax is coming in from behind, but we do have an aggressive Blink. But there's the overcharge. Once again, MaxPax holding. Potentially going for a wraparound, but no, he's going for the main fight. The Cybercore is going to be going down. And that's it. No more Stalkers available for MaxPax. Only Zealots can be warped in. Cyan has a lot of potential with this push. Again, we once again have the better concave. We already have the shield battery overcharge being used up and running out. And MaxPax can only warp in Zealots. A gateway goes down. We have an Immortal on the way here for... Oh, never mind. The pilot is being targeted down, and it will be depowered. There will not be an Immortal. At the same time, MaxPax is trying to break into his own natural, but no, he's being stopped. GG gets called, and Cyan fights back in game 2 and puts a point on the board. Ooh, GG. There's a part of me that's being like, you know, that could have been a 2-0. But you know what? We're going to be satisfied with the 1-1 for now. GG, well played. Cyan pulls off the 2-base all-in. MaxPax was unable to scout it. He was unable to confirm it until it was already in his face. Until it was already... until it was already underway. Oh, GG. And again, as a result, we saw that Cyan was able to not just have an overwhelming amount of stalkers, but more importantly, outposition MaxPax and wedge himself in between the bases, threaten the natural, and the moment when things were going awry for MaxPax was when his Cybercore got sniped. With the loss of that Cybercore, that's the end of the stalker production. He also delayed his immortal production as well, because he was in the middle of defending and he was, you know, trying to bring everything together. A really chaotic moment there for MaxPax, and we're going to the ace match. We're going to game number 3. I see in the chat. Between Cyan and Firefly, I feel like an ordinary Protoss man is starting to emerge from China. True, Papi, true. But I would give that to Cyan. Firefly, he's got some flair to him. You know, Firefly, he has a little bit more like pizzazz to him. I don't know if he's as humble as Cyan and as humble as Oliveira is what I'm getting at. I think Cyan is maybe the one to rise up, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, as we may have made the wrong map, so I'm gonna have to quickly. Oh no, sorry, it was a wrong race. Cyan was accidentally Terran. It's all good. It's all good. Did Hearthstone get eliminated? Wait, what? He did. He did, apparently. He did. Aye. Is he streaming as well? We wanna make sure that that no one's trying to be cheeky here. I believe he is. As we're getting into the next game. Into the ace match. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player representing the Starving Camels. It is Cyan. I'll reach out to the people. Hold on. Alright, just letting them know. And here we go. The ace match here between these two lovely and beautiful players. A part of me, again, I mentioned it before, this could have been a 2-0. Cyan was looking so good in game number 1, and it would have been wild if it was a 2-0. But we are going the distance, and maybe that's better. You know, maybe we want more games between these two players. Cyan has been on fire with his builds, and already, oh, we're going all in. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. So we do see Cyan going for a 2-gate opener here on Altitude, which is a massive sign of aggression. Meanwhile, MaxPax is going for a gate expand, a very economic build. So basically, MaxPax is going for something more economic, and he's saying, yo, come at me. Are you going to try and stop me? And Cyan is going to respond with a proxy pylon. An interesting position as well. I'm curious if this is for a proxy Twilight Council. This is very odd. I wonder what the plan is here for Cyan and how he intends to break the 2-basing MaxPax, because MaxPax is one of the best at defending on 2 bases. Like, we've seen him time and time again deflect all-ins. We'll see if he can pull it off here, as Cyan does go for the proxy Twilight Council. This is looking like a proxy Dark Shrine. DTs. Bold move. Okay, so MaxPax is aware of the opener. MaxPax should be aware of the all-in. We see and with this Stargate follow-up, MaxPax should be making a Void Ray. And of course, a Void Ray won't help against DTs. But, oh, is it even going to be DTs? We have a proxy. Yeah, it has to be, right? Will the Void Ray help? I'm curious if MaxPax is going to read this and go Oracle first. If he goes Oracle first, he's going to be in like a pretty beautiful position because he will have access to detection and he'll have access specifically to those revelations. There it is. Dark Shrine is thrown down. This is such a risky move. This is so risky from Cyan. We do have the Void Ray first, not an Oracle, to be fair. So already a good start for Cyan. Meanwhile, MaxPax is scouring the map. He is looking for the proxy. He knows something is coming his way. He just doesn't know what. Is it a proxy 4-gate? Is it a proxy Robo? Is it a proxy Stargate? What could it be? As we even have a Forge on the way for cannons. I love it. I think that's a really smart move, to be honest. The Forge, we may even have cannons at the natural because of this. Like, there's only so many things it could be for Cyan. That's the problem. Like MaxPax, he's like going through, he's like ticking through the checklist of like what kind of all-in Cyan could be doing, and the Forge is done. There's the cannon. Yep, at the natural. He's getting ready for DTs. But there's no cannon in the main, and the DTs are going to be warped straight in there. And we're going for a ninja! Oh, let's go! But we have a cannon in the main base as well. How much is this really going to do? I mean, so the cannon in the main isn't within range of the mineral line, so we can swipe away at the Nexus, sure. There we go, the DTs have arrived. The first DT goes down to the natural. Meanwhile, the cannons, they're just not finishing here in the main. Here we go, both cannons do get killed. And now the Nexus is under threat. Can he kill the Nexus before we get an Observer? Oh, this is going to be close. The Observer is being chronoed as we speak. It will have a revelation once it comes out. At the same time, Void Rays are focusing down. They will get the Prism. But that Nexus is getting low. Oh, it's going to be close, but I think MaxPax is going to save it. Yeah, he's going to be able to save it. Here we go. We have the revelation. DTs are being focused down. And, oh, God! Oh, just barely! Oh, one swipe away. The Nexus goes down. Ah! Oh, my God. That was so close. Oh, my God. 1 second off. The DTs do kill the Nexus. MaxPax is stuck on 1 base economy. And you know what? He may be thinking, I'm okay, right? Like, I still have a worker lead. Like, my opponent is about to lose a lot of workers. Oh, this is not a bad start here for Cyan. He's going to be losing a lot of workers to this Oracle. Oof. But we have a ninja. And that ninja would be feeling a lot better if we didn't just lose 5 probes. So because we just lost 5 workers, this is still maybe better for MaxPax. He's oversaturated. This DT is doing some damage. You know, we can see a couple of probes going down. Oh, this is a risky move, and we may punish it. Oh, God, the Prism trying to get the hell out of here, but no, it's going to go down. Prism falls. These are expensive losses. These are very costly losses for Cyan. The Oracle. Oh, no, is he going to... He has scattered that proxy. That ninja. He knows. Oh! We'll lose an Oracle. God, this is such an awkward position. Okay. So now we're 2 base versus 2 base. We got to take stock. MaxPax has the worker lead. He's getting into 3-gate aggression. No Twilight Council, no Blink to speak of. So vanilla Stalkers is what MaxPax is going to be working with. Meanwhile, Cyan Likewise, no Twilight Council. He's working on a third base, so he's going to be a little bit more defensive. These Stalkers are just for map control. He's going to be the defender, though, and MaxPax is going to be going all in. He is starting Immortal production. He has 2 Void Rays. He's getting into 3-gate aggression. I do believe that MaxPax is going to be pushing out with an insane army. I don't know if Cyan can defend against it. It's going to take some time, though. It's going to take a while, especially if we wait for Blink. Because the Twilight Council is on the way. Like, MaxPax is getting, like, the anti-Stalker army. He's got Void Rays, he's got Immortals, and Blink Stalkers as well. Like, this is going to crush any kind of ground-centric army, for the most part. But we may not be moving out anytime soon. We may be waiting a little bit. When it does move out, it's going to hit like a truck as, oh no, 1 Stalker, no shield battery, 7 more probes go down. Cyan. This Oracle harass is too much, Papi. I mean, he's trying to defend multiple places at once, and he's being punished for it so hard. MaxPax has an observer over that third base. The third base also very exposed as well. And this army from MaxPax is terrifying. It's gonna hit so hard, and Cyan can't really hold a candle to it. We're gonna have Blink and +1 finishing up together. There's gonna be a bit of a timing here for MaxPax. We see Cyan still focusing on Stalker production. Pure Blink Stalker. I mean, Pure Blink Stalker can deal with this, but you have to have an overwhelming amount of Stalkers. Meanwhile, Hallucinated Scout confirms everything. He sees how large the army is. He can see the economy of his opponents. Another 2 probes go down. Probes that we can't afford to lose. Cyan does have a higher worker count, but this should have been even higher. He should have gotten to 50 workers like a minute ago. If it wasn't for all the harass, and I'm afraid to look, but we have lost 14 probes. Oh my god. 14 workers have gone down for Cyan. Like, we had some nice moves initially, some really nice moves to start things off, but from that moment, MaxPax has been getting back into this time and time again. Cyan going for a massive gateway explosion because it's all he can do. So Cyan is going to be going Pure Blink Stalker. I mean, I say Pure Blink Stalker. He's going to have some Zealots as well, potentially. But he does need time. As MaxPax is moving out across the map, he has +1. He has Blink. He has his Prism. He does get spotted by the Watchtower. Here we go. Can Cyan hold? He's got sentries. He has Force Fields. Oh my god, the Force Fields are looking pretty good. And oh no! The Force Fields are looking good, but we panicked a little bit and we did trigger the overcharge as well, so Cyan using a little bit too much too quickly. Especially because MaxPax, he backs off, he doesn't commit, and he's going to be waiting for that overcharge to run out. So here we go, MaxPax is sharking around, he's looking to outposition his opponent. It looks like MaxPax, he doesn't like what he sees and he will back off. Cyan buying time to just build up his army even further. Oof. Okay. And just like that, a very tense moment does relax a little bit. We do see now both players backing off. It looks like MaxPax is going to be refining his army even more. He's got +2 on the way. More importantly, he has a Templar Archives on the way. With this, he's going to have access to Archons, and Archons are going to work so well against Zealots. And that is the other major component of Cyan's army. He's going pure, essentially pure Stalker Zealot. He's got a couple of Immortals mixed in, to be fair. Stalkers are going to deny the 4th base of MaxPax. Nice pick off from Cyan. Meanwhile, MaxPax is looking to make a beeline here. Maybe try to catch the army off guard. Oh my god! As a result, he will lose a Void Ray, essentially for free. As Cyan backs off, the Zealot army is going for a counterattack. MaxPax is being pulled apart. This is one of the big features of Altitude. Because it's so large, it can be so difficult to keep up with all these counterattacks at the same time. A warband of Zealots in the main base. Things are about to pop off all over the place. We do force the recall. Cyan, I feel like he has to get the hell out of here. He's focusing a little bit more on the defensive play back at home, and he's gonna get the Nexus. Oh, wait. He's trying to. The Nexus is getting lower and lower. We do see Cyan is taking the fight. Oh my god, the Stalkers, they come in from behind, and it looks like with this surround, MaxPax is going to be able to clean this up. Oh, that was a big loss for Cyan. Threw away a lot of his army. Could have been worth it if he got the base, but he didn't in the end. Just like that, he threw away a lot of Zealots. He threw away his Immortal. At the same time, Cyan just being so active, forcing another cancel on this fourth. But MaxPax, he has the better army, a smaller army, but he's got those Archons now. He's got the Archons, he's got an Immortal. The Zealots are not going to cut it, not anymore. As he moves out, Cyan, he's slipping in. Oh, and MaxPax, he's got to make a choice. He's committing. He's going across the map. This Nexus that was low from earlier, it's going to get sniped. Wow. The base goes down. MaxPax, once again on 2-base economy, he's pushing in towards the 4th base of Cyan. We have an overcharge just to help things out, but it looks like MaxPax has an overwhelming army. Cyan is going to be losing everything back at home, and he's committing to the base trade. He goes for the warp in with the Zealots. He's rushing into the natural. He can always recall, bear that in mind. And Cyan can afford to lose some bases. Oh, the Robo is going to be going down. MaxPax heading towards the 3rd base of Cyan. We're going full base trade. Shield battery gets targeted down. It looks like Cyan is taking control of the main base of MaxPax. Meanwhile, MaxPax still hasn't made his way into the main of Cyan. We also need to get some probes out of here. There is one probe already out for MaxPax. Pylons are going down. MaxPax evacuates the mineral line. Cyan is slow to evacuate his. Can he get it out? Up! It looks like he will. As we do recall back home. Oh, was this a wise move? It looks like every high-tech unit is going to be going down. MaxPax, he didn't recall enough. Uh-oh. He did not recall enough. He's going to be losing everything. And there it is. GG gets called. And it could have been a 2-0, but Cyan, he takes it 2-1, out-positioning MaxPax time and time again. And he eliminates the best Protoss in Europe. Oh my god. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cyan as he does take down a heavy favorite in this tournament. MaxPax is one of the players that we expect to win these KungFu Cups, and he's already out in the 2nd round. And let's be real here. Cyan could have 2-0'd. He could have even 2-0'd as well. But even here in game 3, just looking so on fire. Just, again, using altitude to his advantage. Just completely outpositioning MaxPax time and time again. Because this map is so large, it's so difficult to have map vision and map awareness and be able to rotate and keep up with your opponent. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cyan. Very powerful showing, very powerful, very solid PvP here from our Chinese Protoss player. Oh, let's go. GG, well played. Congratulations, Bobby. Congratulations. You say Cyan is humble, but we saw the Cure celebration. Yeah, but that was a fun celebration. It's fine, Poppy. It's fine. GG, well played. Wow, Cyan with the upset moves on into the next round, and we know where we're going. We were talking about it earlier. Cyan is moving on to face Dark, who's been patiently waiting for him. And I'm sure Dark is going to have a pleasant surprise. I'm sure he was waiting for MaxPax. He's like, wait, what? Cyan, why are you messaging me right now? You know, I'm waiting for MaxPax. Cyan's like, oh, Papi, you don't understand. I'm a starving camel. I was hungry, and I ate him. Oh. Este Cyan. GG, well played. Congratulations. A very powerful performance